Welcome back to Ring Takes episode 139 here as we're gearing up for the Elimination Chamber. First, we're going to be talking about Monday Night Raw with AJ Styles officially retiring. But Brian, you wanted to talk about Blake Monroe from NXT, and I know there's been a lot of interactions online about her position in NXT, so I'll let you take the floor on that. Mhm.
Okay, I just needed to just say this now. Mariah May, when she was in AEW, when that program that she had with Tony Storm is arguably the best women's program to ever come out of AEW, and the best one of the best women's programs I've ever seen in a very long time. And then when she became champion, she was sadistic, she was vicious, and she had a very good reign. So she had momentum when she signed with the NXT, but some people are looking at the way that she's being booked right now and would say that she deserves a lot more and she should automatically be in the main event. Now, do I agree that her booking should be a little bit more significant? Yes, but at the same time, I'm also of the belief that just because she came from another promotion where she was on top doesn't necessarily mean that she needs to be on top in WWE. A lot of these fans that watch, NXT, a lot of them didn't watch AEW, so they don't even know the character name Mariah May. They didn't see what she did. So if you immediately have pushed her to the top, a lot of people would then be asking the question, well, who is this girl, and what has she done? Does she even deserve it? And I feel like some people have been equating her booking to saying that she's being buried right now, and a lot of fans need to be re-educated on what the term "buried" actually means. Because as far as I'm concerned, if I'm seeing somebody being featured on WWE television week after week after week, that doesn't equate to a burial to me. To me, someone's getting buried when you don't see them on TV, when you don't even see them wrestling, when you don't see them doing anything of significance. Then you can tell
Street
somebody
Profits.
is being punished. She is in the spot that she is in right now, and she's only going to continue to get better. Um, it's funny because they put her in this women's speed tournament last week, right? People were complaining about it. Oh, what is she doing in the speed tournament? The speed titles are a joke. Well, why are you lowering her and putting her in the speed tournament? So then the following week she has her match with Thea Hale. She loses due to Jada Parker, for which she's in a fucking program with. And now everybody's saying,
Mhm.
"Oh, how you gonna put Blake Monroe in the speed tournament and have her lose in the first round? Like, why is she losing in the first round in the speed tournament? Not remembering that she's in a fucking
Because it's also
program
the
with
speed
Jada Parker."
tournament.
Exactly. She's in a
Very
program.
good.
I understand that, but she's in a program with Jada Parker. So any reasonable person would have known that obviously Jada Parker was going to get involved. Now, they put out that report about Jada Parker having a neck injury or whatnot. So I can understand that some people were looking at it saying, well, she's hurt, so what's going to happen here? But then clearly we showed, as we've seen a lot lately, dirt sheets ain't always 100% right, because Jada Parker seemed fine to me when she interfered in the speed tournament match. So
Mhm.
she has a program.
Mhm.
And just because you're on top in AEW doesn't mean you automatically need to be on top in WWE. I just
Yep.
want to.
I think what you're thinking there is I think what everybody's thinking is what's the counter programming, right? When you bring
Yeah.
somebody in from a different company that you instantly
Yeah.
showcase what you can do with them because WWE has done this. They showcase what they can do with this guy in a different company in a different light and push them to the moon, right?
Yeah.
I think with them, my only issue with NXT right now is that the booking was backwards, right? I don't think JC Jane should be champion. I know she's putting a lot of work as champion. She's had a lot of opportunities, but that's where I would have rather seen Jordan Grace. That's where I rather would have seen Julia. That's rather where I would have seen Blake Monroe in those title opportunities because I saw an NXT Heatwave last summer. Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe go at it in the banger of a match. So
Mhm.
that's what I was thinking for NXT down the line. We're now 6, 7, 8 months removed from that, and it seems like she's in the same position as she was. So I can understand why there's some pushback to that, right? Because we want to see her in a better role, especially with all the talent that we saw with her in AEW going up against Tony Storm and stuff like that. She doesn't have the dance partner right now, even though they're trying to build up Jada Parker right now, who I think should be featured more on NXT and stuff like that, because she's been on a losing binge for me watching her week to week. But whatever the case may be, I feel like this is a good feud for her, and that's probably what they need right now is other feuds. So eventually when you do get to a title match, or when you do get further down the line, that you have these stories in the history to build off of. So Blake Monroe in a feud with Jada Parker, who's red hot right now in terms of character in NXT, I feel like that's something that they can build towards, right? Or something that they can actually build a story with going down the line. If they want this to lead the women's division for a couple months, they can do that. So in that regard, I like it. And as you said, Brian, Blake Monroe has been featured on WWE 2K26, all the promotional, I've seen the videos and stuff like that on Instagram and videos. She was at the event party there for them. So they think highly of her. They just don't bring people to that.
Yeah.
They just don't, you know what I mean? It isn't like they brought Candice LeRae there or something like that. You know what I mean? No shots at Candice LeRae, but I'm just saying they brought somebody who they thought has star power and can bring attention.
Yeah.
And exposure can expose to people in NXT now. And I think that was a good look for her. So I don't think it's completely doom and gloom for Blake Monroe. Do we, as you said, do we wish her booking could be better? Absolutely, because we think she's that talented. To me, it's just finding the right dance partners in NXT. Now, hopefully, Jada Parker is that person that can go toe to toe with her on the mic and really put it together in the ring. Hopefully, they can get something going there and put it together.
It probably also has to do that. She's a heel, and then obviously the NXT champ is still JC Jane, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's like she's a heel right now as well, and like Dan said, I think she's been champ for way too long. I'm not saying I'm here watching NXT week to week, but I don't know. JC Jane still has not been the one that we were like she should be champ and she should be the one leading the brigade. It's like there's other people who's Jada Parker she's been in NXT for a while. I mean, I guess she's dealt with injuries and stuff, but she's somebody who has the character. Wrestling wise, still improving, but then
she's had some banger matches. She's had some ladder matches.
Yes,
she's had that match with Lash Legend.
Her and Lola Vice was amazing. That whole street fight with the brick and everything was great. Like those two right now easily should be in that main event card and still going. I mean, and then you got Sol Ruka, Zari. The women's division's great. So I think this whole thing with her. And it's probably like Dan said, it's like you go from being on top in AEW, or Brian said, being on top in AEW to them being below the mid card in NXT. People are like, well, they're burying her. It's like, no, like they're women. They've been saying it forever. Their women's division stacked. You're not just gonna bring her in, even though they have done it with the men. I mean, look at the past. Like Kevin Owens came in, boom, title picture. Samoa Joe, Shinsuke, like. Yeah, but, it's also different times, Their women's division has a lot of already stacked characters, and it's like you're just going to bring her in from the competition and just be like, nope, you're going to get a title shot off rip. It doesn't look right, so
yeah, I think
it's going to be about timing with her. That's all it's going to be.
Yeah, I think another aspect of it that people probably aren't thinking about, because like you said, we talking about like JC Jane as champion. A lot of people look at it and say, Blake Monroe's a better heel than JC Jane. So for sure, a lot of people are probably looking at it from that standpoint. That like, look at where you got Blake, and yet here's your women's champion, and Blake is better than her.
I mean, you got a lot. I feel like I felt like for last summer, I felt like the booking was backwards. That they had JC Jane and these other women in the title picture, the main event picture. And then all the good people who were being misused were in the mid-card title. And I kind of feel like it now. They called a lot of people up. They're showcasing that they're going to call people up. And right now it's like Izzy Dame and Tatum Paxley are going after the North American title. They have a long, lengthy feud. I think what NXT is doing is the people that they invested in, they're pushing to see what they can get out of them. Like, you want to see what you can get out of your investment for those people, because it's like, yeah, we're bringing in other talent, but let's see what we have with these people here. That's why JC Jane has been.
Can we make something out of what we already got?
To WrestleMania next week. Thank you. Until next time.
What?